My name is Alessandro Chiolerio and I am Principal Investigator at the Istituto Italiano di Tecnologia. I work at the Center for Space Human Robotics, which is a center located in Turin, and we are working on nanocomposite materials, nanostructured materials, all sorts of materials and devices that could be used for space applications and also in ground applications. First of all, material science is that field that allows you to understand what's the classification of materials, what's their role in society and engineering, and what are the properties and how to exploit their properties depending on the fabrication process. Nanotechnology is something that goes much beyond, in the sense that once you have understood that the structure of the materials depends on the position of the single atoms, and when you start to interact with the atoms in a repeatable way, you understand how to produce something that nowadays is not existing and that could help to realize the society of the future. So bringing new functionalities, new properties, new physical transduction mechanisms, and whatever. Something very, very important towards the development of society. In my opinion, something that comes before. So you need to know about the materials and how to process them if you want to realize a rocket, for example. I think that this is fundamental. So wherever you want to go, and with whatsoever mission or system you could ever conceive, you still need to cope with materials or with electromagnetism. Those are the two fundamental fields that I would really love to, develop in my own career. And my personal driving force is curiosity. I'm always curiosity driven. The connection is much more subtle than you can imagine, because we are nanostructures, basically. Very complex organisms where the nature by itself could structurate the matter at the nanoscale. So the DNA structure, the proteins, all the extremely complex mechanisms that happen and occur inside the cell and that are the basis of the more complicated organisms are nano-based. So nanotechnology was the engineering approach towards nanoscience, but probably the evolution of nanotechnology will be biology, what we now call biology. In principle, nobody should be afraid of developing technology, because it's the only way we have to walk on. But of course, it is possible that somebody, as usual, makes a bad use of technology. But this is probably driven by ignorance. So I think that once the society is settled and that the leading group of society understood how fragile is society, we probably do not need to fear anything about new technologies, because they already, the leading group already considered all the possibilities, I hope. The development of certain processes for the fabrication of the most advanced nanotechnology device that we have, which is inside the computers, the CPUs, is already down to the hundreds of atoms as control in the positioning of the material. It is a subtractive process, that's the point. So probably we will need more time to transform this paradigm into that of the additive processes, which is much more environmentally friendly and it preserves raw materials better. I started to work with the functional inks. In Italy, we developed our own spin-off company that is producing nanostructured inks. So first of all, we understood that the most important intellectual property of the company was in the liquid ink. Afterwards, you have the knowledge about the processing, about the post-processing, about the functional properties you achieve. But first of all, there is the liquid. So why not using liquids for making other stuff? And by the way, 90% or 95 or 98 of the living beings is water, so it's very important for life as well. So in nanotechnology and space, having living habitats maybe that are protecting yourself from radiation and from temperature variation, that behave like a living being, so they transform and adapt to the environment, that recycle your own metabolites, your CO2 and the water you produce, and feed you with the same ingredients, but renovated. This kind of thing could be a good collision between biology, nanotechnology, space application. My message is always be curious and don't fear technology. So approach technology in a practical way, try to hands-on realize stuff, work on it, but also don't forget about dreaming, about thinking great stuff. Even though you don't have right now the opportunity to put on big stuff, maybe you will have in future, so don't stop yourself with these things. Just keep on thinking great.